Okay, I think I'm streaming. Let me check audio, because this is always the part. Should be working, I think. And then, let's see here. Enter here. Can I hear myself? Hello? And then, let's see. Okay, it does sound normal, so that's good. Alright, cool. So we'll do that. Chan, welcome in. How's it going? How are you doing this weekend? Hopefully you are having a great Memorial Day weekend so far. For those who are not in the United States, Monday will be one of the United States federal holidays called Memorial Day. Let's see, Chan says, I'm doing great. How about you? I'm doing pretty good. Oh, thanks for getting that, Chan. I have been busy this week, and I had a busy day today, so I'll tell you guys about it in a little bit. Gibson Lens, Bert, how's it going? How you doing today? Welcome in. Alright, before anything happens, cheating gloves going on, so we'll do that first. And then and then we'll go about talking about stuff and stream and things. But anyway. Bert, how has your Memorial Day weekend been? Hopefully it's been pretty good. Anybody do anything cool, special, fun, celebratory? Whether you've already done it or it's happening tomorrow. Alright. So I'm still coughing, but right before the stream I popped a cough drop, and I have an entire bag of cough drops. So I am prepared. I have the entire bag of cough drops down here. So if I need any more, I'll be okay. I'll have them within arm's reach. Chan says pretty tired. Well, hopefully you can rest up for the weekend. From the weekend. Oh, hold on. I gotta do eyes, otherwise I'm gonna feel left out. There we go. I suppose this doesn't mean much if you end up watching this not on Twitch, but here's the chat so far. I feel like I need to do Gibson eyes when anybody else does it. Charlie's Beats, welcome in. How's it going? How you doing? Okay, all right. Fingers are cheating gloved up. You can pull out the Twitch deck for now. All right, guys. I've had a busy week. So, in the world of magic, this past week, my local chapter of the Society of American Magicians, SAM47, put on a magic show open to the public. I was in attendance. Not only that, I was in attendance and recording. So I brought my camera. It was not like the best camera, but I could stand it up and not feel like it's a big deal. I didn't perform in it because I wasn't sure if I was going to be in there, and I wasn't like super antsy and itching to perform because I have a stream in which people come to watch me perform every week. I also have 50 bajillion videos on the internet of me performing, so I'm like, alright, that's fine. Other people can perform. Also, now in retrospect, looking at it, and I'm like, I basically do card tricks. There was a bunch of card tricks, and I'm like, it's fine that I didn't, because it's harder to see the card tricks without like a close-up situation like this. Or, being directly in front of people. So, yeah, but the magic show went very well. I did share a link. Well, I did make it public so that people from the Magic Club could watch it and share it with everybody that they knew that wants to watch it or see their performances. But if anybody here wants to watch it, it's on my YouTube, but I'll just drop the link here in chat, so if anybody wants to check it out. There it is. Um, so yeah, right after the show was over, I ended up just walking around doing tricks for 2 or 3 different groups of people. So I did get some magic in that night after the recording. Um, I did end up, quote unquote, rushing to edit that and put it up. I did ask, so apparently there was another person who recorded footage, but I emailed him and he wasn't able to get me the footage before I was able to go through my footage and combine it and put it up. So I decided, all right, let me just put it up, and then if I get it and there's any sort of meaningful difference. The biggest thing that I would like, because my recording was just on my old camera, so the quality wasn't as good, and the audio, because we didn't have mics or anything. So if the audio was better from his camera, but his camera was further back from mine, so unless he just had like way better, like brand new camera technology, then I don't know if it'd be that much different. Um, so got that up, got that out. People are sharing it. Um, there's a lot of views on it, but because it is not my work, I did not monetize it because I thought that would be extremely rude. Which is unfortunate because I think YouTube, if you're not like on YouTube, if you are not like if you don't have YouTube Red, I think YouTube can still put ads on it, but I wouldn't get anything from it. So I'm like, oh well, whatever. Hopefully, when I select not like, I would expect that if I don't monetize anything, that there shouldn't be any ads on it. But I think they changed that like since the pandemic. So anyway, let's see what else. So I'm still coughing, but I'm okay. My workplace has a benefit in which we have half day Fridays, half day summer Fridays. So every other Friday we get a half day. So this past Friday was my first summer Friday, so I got a half day. I had somebody come to do work to fix the pool pipes because we had a bunch of busted pipes in my pool room. So I could not. So we had the pool opened, but I couldn't use it yet, and that's pretty bad because it was super hot, and I was like, I really wanted to use it. So because there was some cracks in the bypass pipes around our heater, so they couldn't turn it on, and so we had to get somebody in to fix that. So they came in, they repaired it, and then I was finally able to turn it on for the first time on Wednesday. And then I did some vacuuming of the pool because for those of you who live in an area in which there's leaves and a pool that's outside, leaves fall in the pool. So had to vacuum the pool. Then on Friday afternoon when I had my half day, I had to connect my chlorinator. Normally the people who open the pool do that, and I'm like, I have never done this before in the 8 years that I've owned a pool because the people who opened the pool just connected it for me. And now I'm like, well, I guess I should learn because I'm not paying money. I'm not calling people, paying the money to hook up this thing that should be quote unquote pretty simple. And as it turns out, I found 2 YouTube videos, watched them. I kind of watched them while I was doing the assembly and installation, but I finally got there. So, yeah. So now the pool has a chlorinator connected to it. And I know it's working because the chlorine level is going up. And I was like, yay! Anyway, hashtag adult life, dad life. Sorry, if anybody was here for magic, the queue is open. If you would like to request anything, feel free. In the meantime, I haven't even warmed up yet, although technically I did some magic tricks early today. Let me start telling you about my weekend. So, on Saturday, didn't do much except for like continue cleaning the pool and just double checking and making sure that the pool levels were okay. It rained, like thunderstormed, and then today was a Sunday, so it's a busy day. I woke up, went to play disc golf. Like I woke up earlier than I normally would on a weekend. To play disc golf. For those of you who are not familiar with disc golf, Nam the pool boy, says Gibson Lens. You know, I am my own pool boy. Does that sound weird? How many times? Anyway, whatever. I woke up early, went to play disc golf with a friend that's visiting from out of town because we've been talking about playing disc golf forever because he's never done it. So I took him out to play disc golf. I used to love playing disc golf. I played this course like 100 times probably. and we played. It was awesome. He lost the disc a couple of times, but because I run after it every single time, I'm like, we might lose that disc, and so um, yeah, so we didn't lose anything. We actually we went in with X number of discs. We left with X plus one discs because he found one, and I was like, you're entitled to keep it now. I just realized this would probably be better at this. Also, it would make way more sense for here. Nam the pool boy. There we go. I mean, I'm my wife's pool boy. There you go. Lol. Thanks for the lulls, guys. Um, and then after that, I came back. So there was a little bit of debris left in the pool. I vacuumed that out while my wife and my daughter they went to see someone they know because there was an event called like the regatta. So it's basically boat racing. It was supposed to happen between yesterday and today. Yesterday, and Saturday night after the thunderstorms, we went out late to the paddle and pour, which is basically like they pour alcohol and then you're supposed to have boat races. But because the boat races were rained out and canceled and T-stormed, there was just like food vendors and music. So we stayed out later than like a kid's bedtime. So, but then today, so after the pool stuff, and then I jumped in the pool for the first time this season. It was a little bit cooler than I would have, but the water was warm because the last few days have been warmer. Let's see, I see the request. Thanks for the request. And then we were getting ready to go to a friend's party, going to see the same friend that came into town that played disc golf with me. He was at his sister's, and his whole family came, and then like all the friends, all of our like mutual friends came. So I went over there for a few hours. We had like hot dogs, burgers, other snacks. I was so proud of my daughter. She's 2.5. She tried watermelon for the first time today, and she liked it. And I'm like, oh my god, she likes watermelon. My wife was giving me like the, oh my god, she's eating watermelon, like. And I was so proud that she asked for more watermelon. I'm like, that's a good sign. All right. Okay. So I guess we are warming up today with the vampire card trick. So, I don't like watermelons. To be fair, I'm actually not a big fan of watermelons either. Although I've kind of grown to be okay with them, but I don't elect to choose watermelons when I have fruit anymore. So, and to be fair, I also didn't used to like strawberries, but I actually like strawberries now. So I'm like, okay. Things change. Alright, so here we have some cards. We have, and there's actually a strange vampire in town. This vampire doesn't suck the blood of people. This vampire loves watermelon. So here we have one watermelon slice, two watermelon slices, and three watermelon slices. And then we have our vampire, which is going to be represented by the King of Spades. Now, the vampire is extremely hot and wants to quench his thirst, but he does not quench his thirst with the blood of people. He quenches his thirst with the flesh of a watermelon. And so, here we go. He eats that first watermelon. I like strawberries, but yeah, they could greatly vary in tartness. Oh my god. The variety of tartness. We'll talk about that a little bit. So as you look onto the picnic table, you still see the 3 slices of watermelon, the 2 slices of watermelon, and you see the vampire standing over it. But you realize that the single slice of watermelon is gone, completely disappeared. Not just the front, but the rind too. See, look, the rind is gone. Okay, so all right, so we throw away that plate or whatever that watermelon was sitting on. So here we have the 2 slices of watermelon. the 3 slices of watermelon, and of course our vampire. So now the vampire is getting a little bit more thirsty. More thirsty for watermelon. And so here we have the 3 slices of watermelon, our vampire, and of course the 2 slices of watermelon have been eaten. Not just the flesh, but the rind. I know. It's super weird. Who eats the rind? Like, okay, and then finally, there's only the 3 slices of watermelon left, and the vampire is so hungry, even though he just had 3. But he was like, I need 3 more. And he eats not just the flesh, but also the rind. And that is one hungry summer vampire. Now, this summer vampire knows that he ate all this watermelon, and he was not supposed to eat all this watermelon. Because, this picnic, I think there was a sign that said, everybody only gets 1 watermelon. And so, this vampire decides to make haste and disappear because he doesn't want to get in trouble with the HOA. I guess putting on this, so he disappears. There we are. And that, my friends, is the Vampire Card Trick Summer Edition, family themed Summer Edition, where the vampire eats watermelon, I guess. Name of the trick: the Watermelon Vampire. That could work. Oh, today's World Dracula Day. Hey guys, happy World Dracula Day today. So it's an appropriate trick, very appropriate. I would say, is it the first day of summer yet, or no? It's still March, April, May. Okay, not yet. So in June it technically becomes summer, right? Yeah. So not quite. We're like a few weeks away. Let's see. Thank you kindly for the claps. Chan the Magic Man, Gibson Lens. Thank you kindly. Alright, let's see. So, let's see. So, World Dracula Day. Oh, yeah, sorry, Chan, I cleared it. Let's see here. So, yeah, recently reverse engineered vampire card trick. I may perform it tomorrow. Chan, that's great news. Excellent. Yeah, it's yeah. I don't think it's that difficult. And actually, yeah, it only took me like 2 or 3 watches before I was like, "Oh, okay, I just need these kinds of blank cards and we got it." Like so for anybody who wants to learn this trick, it is a marketed effect, and you can go purchase it from one of the big magic stores online. Blah blah blah. Hashtag not sponsored, but I like the trick. There we go. Yeah, sorry I missed that, Chen. That's yeah. Well, good luck. Hopefully it turns out well. I know you have the technical skills to perform it, so that's not a problem. So hopefully you can perform the trick. So actually I didn't realize that you were going to be performing, because maybe you don't want to base it off of my watermelon thing. You might want to do the regular performance where they suck the blood of the victims. That makes more sense, but anyway. But yeah, yeah, I used to be less good at eating fruit in my life, and so now I'm a lot better at it now, but there's still room for improvement. Alright, cool. World Dracula Day. Alucard would be proud. Bonus points if you guys understand that reference. I'm pretty sure Gibson Lens knows the reference. Alright, where was I? Oh yeah, so I was at a party earlier today, burgers, hot dogs, a lot of family friends, they also have kids. I met somebody new who was a dance teacher, and oh yeah, see, Bert knows. He's got it. Ain't nobody crying any bloody tears here. Wink, wink. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, then you don't. Man, I love inside jokes. The thing is, it's not that inside for like a large subculture of like people, but then it's like for the people who don't understand, it's like I have no idea what he's saying. He's saying words coming out of his mouth. Blah, blah, blah. Where was I? Oh yeah, families with lots of kids. I met somebody new today. She's like a dance teacher, but also a medical doctor, and had 3 or 4 kids. But because I like to show new people a magic trick, showed her a magic trick, and she was like, "Can you show my kids magic?" And I'm like, "I'm not sure," because I was a little skeptical because I don't like showing tricks to like little kids. But her kids were older. They were like 7, 8, 10, 11 kind of age range, and I'm like, "That's perfect. They'll understand any of my tricks." And I showed them magic, and they were like, they enjoyed it. They were like, "Ah, that was awesome." I probably got some new YouTube subscribers this week too. So between the magic show and then hanging out with people earlier today. Oh, and after the magic show, I got to hang out with a bunch of magicians, local magicians. We went to a restaurant, bar and grill, hung out for a couple hours, so that was good. Terrible thing happened at the restaurant. I paid with my credit card. I had to stop at the grocery store. Went to the grocery store. When I went to check out, I realized I did not have my credit card with me. Luckily, I had another credit card, but I'm like, oh no, I must have left it at the restaurant. And so the restaurant was still open for about a half an hour right after I was finished at the grocery store. So I'm like, I gotta book it back over there. So I went back over there, and they had it, so I got it back. But I'm like, oh, it was so inconvenient. But it was my fault because I should have just grabbed it the first time when I was leaving. Um, what else? Oh yeah, so tonight I'm probably going to end at my normal time, but I don't have to rush because I finally back filmed a couple of episodes for my Monday magic videos that publish on Monday, so I don't have to worry about tomorrow, and I don't even have to worry about next week. So I have 2 lined up because I've already recorded them, and then but I have to get to bed early tonight because tomorrow we're waking up, and then I'm walking into a Memorial Day parade for my town because my wife works for the library for the town, and she's going to be walking in it with our kid, and she's like, you can walk too because I'm associated with her. So okay, man, a lot of stuff going on this week. Okay, all right, I'm going to do a magician's choice right now. By the way, if anybody wants to request anything, here's how. Queue's empty, except I'm going to add one right now. Yeah, the one caveat about going in the parade tomorrow is if it rains like thunderstorm, because we're supposed to get thunderstorms, it could cancel the whole thing. So, but anyway, here we are. I'm going to be doing a trick. It's one of the tricks that I am publishing in the next couple of days. Or no. Actually, I don't think I'm going to have it to be tomorrow. It might be the week after. But I could have a spectator. Actually, this is how I would have the spectator select a card. So I would have the spectator say stop when I riffle. Now, sometimes, and not to spoil any sort of magical trickery, but sometimes magicians will control where you say stop. However, wherever the spectator says stop, you can legitimately stop right there. And then what we're going to do is have that be the selection. For purposes of this, I don't need to see it right now, but it doesn't really matter that I know what it is. So I'm just going to go ahead and flip it over. And I'll just swap the order. Okay, that's a really bad one to get. Let me just go ahead and remove the jokers. It's not going to be very clear if it's a joker. So you already messed up a trick, but to be fair, I've never done this before. So, first time on stream. I don't know why I'm shuffling. You can just pick. Alright, we have a card selected. Doesn't matter what it is. So we'll have that be selected. Oh, sorry, we didn't do the whole stop. All right, here we go. Say stop. Okay, let's say you say stop there. Boom. Okay. So that's the selection. Okay. Here's the card. Doesn't matter that I know what it is. 7 of clubs. Very lucky card. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go ahead and place it into the middle of the deck, okay? Like right there. It's not like directly in the middle. I mean, it's probably as close to the middle. But this is what we're going to end up doing. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you that throughout the day, there's a lot of things that happen. And you have no idea what a day is going to look like. But something that is innocuous as something you have to remember, the 7 of clubs. If I spread through the cards, you may not see it face up, even though it's a very clear memory, because it just happened. So you won't be able to see it. Okay. Now you won't be able to see it because you might be distracted. However, when you took a look at the card, you secretly took a snapshot of it, a mental snapshot. So if I just wave my hand over the deck, it clears that mental cache in your head, and you're like, I should now be able to see that face up 7 of clubs. Because if I spread, you'll be able to see that 7 of clubs there. I want you to take a mental snapshot of the 7 of clubs. This could be signed. And we're going to go ahead and place it face down into a face up deck. So this is probably more reminiscent of a typical day. There's a lot of things going on. You don't know exactly where your attention is going to fall throughout the day, but I'm going to go ahead and just push that in. And here's the thing. Here's all the things that you could see in a typical day, right? Here's all the events of your day, 52 slices of a day. You may not see your face down 7 of clubs amongst the face up cards. But let's pretend that snapshot wasn't even a pretend snapshot. It was a literal snapshot that you took with your phone. And so you go and review your phone at the end of the day. And so here's you swiping on your phone, getting to the phone app, opening it up, and then each one of these pictures, you're just gonna slide it over. You're gonna slide it over with your finger, right? So that's how it works. And after you swipe through all of your memories throughout the day, you'll be able to see there is your 7 of clubs face up amongst the noise of your day. And that is something brand new. I'm calling that snapshot. I actually did it better yesterday on my recording than I did there, but first time on stream, we'll take it. It's fine. Flaming Hails, welcome in. How's it going? So yeah, that is it is based on another trick that I did before. I'm sure that other people have done that trick with that move, but I don't know if they presented it the way that I did, especially with the smartphone swiping of the pictures, but there we go. Chan says, nice! Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan. Okay, I just finished my cough drop, and I just realized I did not bring my drinks down here. Alright. Okay, this is going to be, you know what? Here. For those of you who don't typically request something, look at the queue or look at the list, go ahead and request something. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. It's going night shift 4 of 5. Oh, my sympathies, Flaming Hails. I'm going to be right back. I just need to grab beverages. Man, the one time I forgot to do to grab something, it's like a drink. All right. For those of you who've been sitting around for a while and you've not hydrated yourself, please hydrate. Tonight I'm having a cherry herbal tea. Thanks for hydrating. Okay, so anyway, that trick, brand new trick, or brand new presentation, if it's not a brand new trick. Brand new to me. So, there we go. Alright, let's see. Next up, we have 4 burglars. You know, I was actually reading up on the legality of the word burglar versus thief. And apparently, if you are actually going in, I don't remember the exact definition, but a thief basically is they're just intending on stealing things. So they just want to take the thing, get out, don't deal with anything. A robber is someone who will go in like armed, and they're willing to apply like coercion and force to do their illegal theft. But usually just like regular thieving does not require, or doesn't involve like dealing with people or like victims, right? And then I forgot what the delineation between burglars was and robbers. So, but apparently I think there was a slight difference. But anyway. So, important question, Chan, for the 4 burglars. Do you want to be one of the burglars? And then I know last time we stole video games, but I think maybe today we'll steal like hot dogs and hamburgers because Memorial Day. Chan the Magic. Okay. Chan, I'm gonna accept that as you are probably okay with being a thief, or sorry, a burglar. Well, as we just discussed with the definitions, right? What's in the definition? My apologies. I've run out of cough drop. I probably need another one. Oh my god. I'm debating on whether it's easier to stream like in the spring or like the winter. And I'm thinking the winter because I don't have to deal with this crap usually. This crap being allergies, if anybody's wondering. Burglary requires illegal entry. Ah! Bert, thanks for looking that up. Okay, so a robber can have legal entry, and then, but still do the thing that the burglars do. And then the burglars do the potentially armed robbery, but illegal entry. And then thieves, I think, they could have either legal or illegal entry, but they don't try and deal with victims. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, law is weird. Okay, so look, we have the 4 queens. The 4 queens will be our burglars today. And so we have... actually, let me put these in a different order. Okay, there we go. This order. I'm going to introduce them all to you. So here we have the Queen of Diamonds. And then we have the Queen of Spades. Then we have the Queen of Hearts. And then, of course, our ringleader, the Queen of Clubs, aka Chen the Magic Man, the requester of this trick, and also in chat right now. But today, what are they planning to thieve? Today, they're going to be thieverying hot dogs and hamburgers from a Memorial Day picnic. And so, Chan has hashed out the plan. Okay, go ahead and get ready. Alright, so this person's going to go over to the table with the buns. Going to grab both hot dog and burger buns. This person's going to go ahead and take the ketchup, mustard, relish, basically all of the condiments. And then this one is going to steal the heart of the operation, the actual meat. Hey, there's the ding. The actual meat, the hot dogs and the burgers themselves, some of which already have melted cheese on them. And so, oh yes, you did mention you were sick last week. Hope you're feeling good. Thank you. I mean, I've been feeling sick for like weeks because of allergies and / sick. But yeah, I'm sure all that food is delicious. So they're going to go work on the operation. Chan is going to be sitting over here watching out for the picnic organizers because, you know, he doesn't want to get kicked out. But actually, as it turns out, some of the tournament, or not the tournament, some of the picnic organizers walk over and they see them hatching a plan and putting it into action. They're like, whoa, 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 we think something's going on. And so as they approach Chan signals to everybody at all of the different tables, getting all of the different food, that they are somehow not entitled to. Perhaps they didn't pay entry into this festival and they don't get like a meal ticket or whatever. But look, all of the queens all end up together, and when they're together, they're able to escape. So they all decide to jump in the line for the tilt-a-whirl, and they tilt and whirl away. It doesn't make a helicopter sound. It goes because that's how the tilt-a-whirl sound goes. And they're there so long that the people who are organizing the picnic just walk away. Because, you know, what are you really gonna do? There's a bunch of people eating food at the festival, presumably having fun. You don't want to stop them. But anyway, pay to get into your local events, people. Support your local events. Thank you kindly for the ding and the applause, Chan the Magic Man. Thank you kindly for the request. Hopefully you enjoyed. That was the Four Burglars summer themed, starring Chan. Okay. All right. Once again, the queue is empty. If anybody would like to request anything, thanks for the how block, Chan. That's how you can request. If you want to request some magic, but you don't know what to request, you can just type in !random. All right. While we're here, I like to practice some trickery. Here's one that I've been practicing literally every stream since I started deciding I want to maintain the trick. So I decided, all right, let's just do it. So we're going to be doing the, oh no, I can't spell, coin matrix. All right, there we go. Okay. Barney of the Rubble, welcome in. How's it going? Houdini underwater chest. My apologies, that is not in my repertoire. But welcome in. How are you doing, Barney of the Rubble? Hopefully you are having a great Memorial Day weekend. There was a version of this that I saw somebody do online, and I'm like, oh, should I learn it and invest in it? But it was basically a version of this in which they used translucent cards. So you can kind of see, and it's actually super visual because they kind of appear and disappear. But I'm like, I kind of don't like the implication on how I would have to achieve it kind of thing. So, but anyway, I'm just going to do this one. So I'm going to cover each coin with a card, and we're going to try and make all of the coins teleport from place to place. But one day, if I ever feel super ambitious, perhaps I will pick up the translucent card version. Okay, so we'll make this one jump from here over there. It happens pretty quick, so there you go. Now this one goes up there, Happens pretty quick. There you go. And then this last one is going to jump now. There we have it. Barney of the Rubble says, have I made it in time for the guitar practice? I mean, I'm actually not going to practice guitar until after the stream is over. So, you're technically not late, but you wouldn't be able to see it anyway, unless you were actually here. So, my sympathies. I'm not ready to stream it. Today is not that day. But I'll have everybody know, I am practicing guitar, and I tried to learn a new song yesterday. It's like the first new song that I tried to learn, I guess, for months. So it will be familiar to people who are fans of VGM. So I'm trying to learn Yearnings of the Wind, the finger picking version of it. So. Oh yeah, while I'm here, while I have the coins, I'm also going to be, let me just do this. Alright, sorry Chan, I'm going to do the cardless coin matrix next, and then I'll do ace on top, so. I probably shouldn't have put the coins away, but here are the coins. And then now we have 4, and we're going to go ahead and make them jump, but without the cards this time. So even though I've done this one a few times, I feel generally comfortable with it, but still not as comfortable as when I do like the regular coin matrix, so I can tell that it's not quite there yet. But we have the 3 over here, and then we have the one that's right over here. Last one. That, my friends, is the cardless coin matrix. There we go. Thanks for getting that, Chan. Okay. Also reverse engineered ace on top. Yeah, that's originally how I learned it. But then I bought the guy's book because I liked ace on top and so much. But it's Ryan Plunkett, and a lot of the other tricks aren't like tricks that I would prefer to do. They're good tricks, but I was like, yeah. So, thank you kindly for the claps, Chan the Magic Man, Charlie's Beats. Alright, let's use the... I'm going to use the spades for this. So the thing about ace on top is that I also use some of the tricks from Ryan Plunkett's actual performance. And I'm like, man, those work. It's pretty good. I tried to incorporate a couple of my own too over the years, so... Okay. Alrighty. Here we go, guys. Next trick is not so much a trick as it is a game, and so we're going to try and have you see if you can tell which card is on the top. But before we do that, let me introduce you to our players. We have the ace of spades, the 2 of spades, the 3 of spades, the 4 of spades, and the 5 of spades. Now, here's the thing with the with these, right? So I'm going to do the magical move right now, but when the cards are all face down, they're going to have this interesting self-correcting property. What card is on top? Now, a lot of people would say 5 because they literally just saw me turn the 5 on top. And you know, intuitively that might be correct. But in the context of this game, it's actually the ace. Now, if I took the ace out, now remember, this is a self-correcting pile, and there's still 4 cards here. But what card appears after the ace? Should be the 2. Then what card appears after the 2? Well, it should be the 3. And then the 4 and the 5. So important question, what card is this? I think a lot of people would say, oh, well, that's the 5 or the 4. Well, to that I would ask, well, hold on. Is this card now not on the top? Because when the cards are face down and this one's on the top, what card should this be? Should be the ace, right? Because look, here's the ace. Yeah, Chance says ace. There you go. Chance got it. Followed by the 2. Followed by the 3. Followed by the 4. Followed by the 5. All right, quick question. This is a quiz. What card's on top? What you think is correct, because I literally did no magic just there. I literally just turned the pile over. It really is the ace. Yeah. So, however, if we take the ace and we place it into the middle, so it's not on the top and it's not on the bottom, into the middle. So important question, what card's on top? Some people say it's the 2. But the pile's face down and it's self-correcting. So now if I show you, the ace is back on the top. Okay, let me go ahead and grab the ace and place it. This time I'm going to clearly place it in the middle. I'm placing it in between these cards right there. It's definitely going right there. And we close that up. Is the pack not face down and self-correcting? Because look, I didn't need to snap. You guys understand the science, right? Because look, now the top card is the ace. Okay, so we got 4 cards left. I did remove the ace from here because you can see it is face up. So what card follows the ace? The 2. And so now what if I were to take the 2 and place it furthest away from where it's supposed to be, which is currently the top. So if I place it on the bottom, it's furthest away from where it's supposed to be, right? But look, the pack is face down, it's self-correcting, and it knows to go in ascending order. So now the card that's on top is the 2. Okay, what if I was to tell you that I could also do this trick face up? Or not just me, but the pack knows how to fix itself. So let's put things in this order here. So if I have the cards in this order, in order for the trick to work, the ace in this position has to jump all the way up to the top. The 4 has to take over 1. The 5's got to jump all the way down to the bottom. The 2's got to go all the way up into this position. 3's got to go into the middle. And so those are all the changes that has to happen in order for the cards to self-correct while they're in the face-up position. But would you believe that we only have to do one thing and one thing only? I have to go ahead and find that ace. If I grab the ace and I place it on the top. So we know that the ace is on the top. But would you believe that all those other changes have occurred as well? Because look, if I show you, we already have the aces on top. But what follows the ace? The 2. What follows the 2? The 3. What follows the 3? Can you count the 4? My daughter can count now. She can count up to like 30. I was like, oh my god. And what follows the 4? The 5. And that, my friends, is a game called Ace on Top. Chan's got the mind blown. Thank you kindly for the claps, Chan. Chan, was that trick in alignment with what you have learned about it? Everything was as you were able to follow along. Everything makes sense. Can't wait to perform. Yeah. Awesome. I love that trick. It's an awesome trick. I enjoy it. I enjoy performing that trick, like not just doing the slights, but the presentation. Like it's actually Ryan Plunkett's presentation, and I'm like, that's a great presentation. So I'm like, yeah, feels good. It's like, so I don't know how to play a lot of music, but it's like when you can play like a song the way that you want to play the song, and it feels good and it sounds good. Like it's all those things. Can't wait to perform. I learned from watching your 2022 performance on YouTube. Well, thank you, Chan. Thank you kindly for watching my performance and learning from that. There are multiple performances of it. There aren't that many, but I think there's like 3 or 4 good ones. One of which is Ryan Plunkett's himself. But yeah, usually when I learn a trick, I try and well, I guess yeah, I choose one trick to learn the mechanics of, but then I watch like 5 or 6 different ones, especially if they have different styles of like presentation, and I draw like the best parts of those tricks, and then I adjust it on the fly. So I'm like, okay, and so the version that I end up learning is like this pun intended distilled version of the trick from like multiple different sources. Um, so yeah, that was pun because the book that Ryan Plunkett publishes that has the ace on top trick in it is called Distilled. So yeah. Okay, next up we have a trick requested by Charlie's Beats. Thank you kindly for the request, Charlie. It is called McDonald's Aces. Alright, once again, if you've been sitting around for a while and you haven't hydrated for a bit, now's a good time. Okay. Alright, this is one of the tricks that I considered having being a closer, but actually, so here's the thing. I like this trick. I don't like performing it better than the other tricks that I like to close out with, so I'm like, alright. Like, it's a good trick, I just don't feel like I enjoy it like mechanically as much as like some of the other ones. But anyway, first things first, we're going to need all of the aces, so let's just go ahead and pull those out of here like this. And instead of having these just be aces today, I guess because we're theming everything like like picnic style stuff. Okay, so these aren't aces. These are all uh, different foods at your Memorial Day picnic, and they are all different foods that one particular toddler happens to like. And so, but they are amongst different tables with all sorts of different foods. These are the other different foods. Um, and so the toddler has to somehow collect these, but in secret. And we want the toddler to be able to grab everything but not get into trouble, because that's how the toddler would have it. And so I just realized I normally put these piles down here and this pile up there. But anyway. So first things first, let's pretend that this ace of diamonds, it looks like a diamond, right? So what's a diamond? Tortilla. No, a sandwich. Let's pretend it's a sandwich. So the toddler wants to get this sandwich collected into their collection of food. And so the toddler grabs it, swipes it, but then puts a different food in its place so that hopefully the parents don't suspect that something has happened. But look, something has happened because look, this is now gone. So that food is disappeared. And the that diamond-shaped wedge of a sandwich is not there anymore. Okay, and then the ace of clubs. What food does that look like? I don't know. This is 3 scoops of ice cream. So here's ice cream, and the toddler wants to have all the scoops of ice cream all for themselves. So they're gonna swipe it. They're gonna put some other food in its place, but here it's all gone. Because now if we take a look, there's no single scoop of ice cream. The ace of clubs. And then finally we have the heart, which is there's going to be cherries. So here's some cherries, and the toddler is going to see the cherries. They see an adult walk by, so nothing happens yet. But then after the adult walks by, completely swipes it, because look, now we have no cherries, no ace of cherries. And at the end of the day, that toddler is going to go ahead and look back on the day's spoils, and they have indeed found the cherries, the scoops of ice cream, the sandwich, and of course the big daddy of them all, the big beef burger. And that, my friends, is McDonald's Aces themed as picnic food for Memorial Day. I don't know. There we go. There we have it. Thank you kindly for the request, Charlie's Beats. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats, Chan the Magic Man. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Thanks for giving me the practice. Yeah, some of these tricks, I don't get to practice that much. There are a few that I get to practice all the time. Speaking of which, twisting the aces. Performed that today, and kids went crazy. And I was like, alright, they still like the trick. I should keep it in rotation. Yeah, this is one of my usual go-tos, because, I don't know, I like doing it. It's short and quick. And it's not like the same one where I make the card jump up to the top. But, alright. We don't have to do it with aces, though. We can do it with... Let's do it with the fours. The fours don't get enough love here. Let's see. Where's the other 4? I'm blind. Oh, it's right there. Okay. Alright. Also, if you have been sitting around and you haven't hydrated for a bit, please hydrate. I think I need to. Okay. Alright. So here, I will do twisting the aces, but with the fours. Because ultimately, I don't think that the aces part of the twisting the aces is the important part. When you learn these tricks, if you ever end up learning these tricks, the important part of the tricks is, like, I think the mechanics that you go through and the presentation, right? And so the important part of this is all about the twisting and the cards. So here we have the 4 fours. What do I want to do with the fours? I want to turn them all face up one at a time. Oh my god, I look over in chat and I see, like, I see Gibson Lens and Chan the Magic Man shooting bots down left and right. Thank you so much for shooting all the bots. So here's what I want to do. I want to go ahead and turn over all of the cards, but only one at a time, but not like that, because that's literally how normal people would do it. I literally just turn a card over. So I have to do it in a much more magical way. So look, if I hold the packet and give it a magical twist. Do we have a high 5 command here? If we do exclamation point HI and then 5? Do we have that command, or is that just a command that I remember from other people's chats? Look, if I give that a twist, that's going to turn up one of the fours. It'll turn up the 4 of hearts. I know. And here's the part that gets people, because I tell people to pay attention after this. I hold the pack and give it another magical twist. That will turn the 4 of hearts face down, and it will turn the 4 of clubs face up. I know, people at this point, they're like, no way, you can't do that. Here we go. There we have it. High five. Okay, nope, we don't have the command. Alright, cool. Thanks for giving that a try. I remember that from somebody's chat. Alright. Now we're going to go ahead and give the pack another magical twist. There we go. Look how good that twist is. These cards were made for this. But, I mean, they weren't actually made for this, but it just incidentally works out. Turns up the 4 of diamonds. And let's see. So we have one more left to turn over, but it's a little bit stubborn. I don't know why. Give whatever magical reason why. It's still face down. It doesn't want to turn itself face up. Maybe it's shy today. Even if I give it 2 magical twists, is that enough to goad it out? No. Maybe if I had Scooby Snacks. I'm going to give it some Scooby Snacks. I think it just consumed the Scooby Snacks. Because look, if I just spread, the 4 of spades has turned itself face up. And that, my friends, is twisting the 4s, because we used 4s instead of aces. The Rusty Panda, hello, welcome in. How's it going tonight? How are you guys doing? How are you doing? The Rusty Panda says, hi, I'm here, Sorts. My power is still out 24 hours now. I'm sorry, that sucks, but I want to say hi because I'm bored out of my frickin' mind. I'm so sorry, the Rusty Panda. I remember losing power a long time ago in this house. And then the following year, my wife and I decided to invest in an automatic switch over generator. And so now when the power goes out, you know, it does, like, we have to reset all the clocks and stuff, but it usually kicks back on in a minute because the automatic generator switches over. It's so weird because we live on a main street and you would never expect, like, the power to go out for any substantial amount of time, and yet it goes out, like, I don't want to say all the time, but way more frequently than I would expect it to in this suburban area. And I'm just like, well, I work from home. It'll save any stuff in the fridge. So we're like, all right, let's just get a generator. Not only that, an automatic switchover generator. So it's not one that I have to manually do anything for. It was an investment, though. But thus far, it's been worth it because we got it early in the lifetime of the house. And I'm like, if I make improvements to my house, I want to, like, have it for a while. I don't want to, like, make it right before I sell the house. So it's like, you know. The stream is choppy for me. What? Have a great night, everyone. Oh, our frickin' streetlights are on. I'm prepared for power outages, therefore we get no power outages. Charlie's Beats, my sympathies. That is a pain in the butt. It's good now. Okay, all right. I don't think I saw any weirdness on my end, so stream has been fine for me. Yeah, so might just be your connection, Chan. Yeah, usually OBS is good at yelling at me and being like, OBS has been disconnected. And I'm like, yeah! And then I get angry at OBS, but I didn't get that today, so. Yeah, so, you know, power, it's so strange. Interesting thing about power, I don't know if anybody's been looking at news articles from, like, the other side of the world, but apparently China and Germany have huge amounts of solar power being generated, and at some points the cost of power solar is so low that it's super cheap and could disrupt energy markets. Not only that, if there was some stock in some of those, the amount of energy generated, the energy cost per kilowatt hour for solar went negative. And I was like, what? How did... I still don't think I understand, like, stock markets enough, because apparently prices can go negative sometimes. I'm like, that's so weird. But, let's see. Chan says, stream's good now. Bert says, stream has been fine for me. And then Rusty Panda says, I have 5G and no Wi-Fi, so I have no idea. Yeah, that's kind of iffy. It's like, I would not rely on the fidelity of a stream based on a 5G, no Wi-Fi connection. But I'm glad you're here, and my sympathies for the power issues. My stepdad actually lives in Houston, and they had a big storm like a week ago, and he had lost power for like 3 or 4 days or something. So, okay, so maybe we should do a trick related to power. I mean, not to... Alright. So here, let's pretend we have 3 kilowatt hours. And with these 3 kilowatt hours, the energy company is going to try and charge us for 4 kilowatt hours. See? 1, 2, 3, 4. And so, actually, the storms last night ripped apart neighborhood trees. Oh, that sucks! I'm so sorry. Thanks. Love this. Okay. So, for those of you who don't know, I live in a place called Rochester, New York. And there has been a notorious local energy company here. I won't name them because I don't want to have any sort of like legal repercussions. But they were in the news the last couple of years for managing stuff really badly and quote unquote overcharging people. I feel like it was just because their billing was poor and they estimated all the time since the pandemic, and they didn't get actual meter reads and all that. But there's a lot more complications. But people were getting hit with bills that were gigantic, and so they were probably measuring measuring bills like this. So you had 3 kilowatt hours, but they just charged you for 4. But here's the thing: once you call out their difference, so now you should still have 3 kilowatt hours. But look, they're going to measure you for 1, 2, 3, 4 because that's super strange. And so look, if now you've settled on this kilowatt hour, so now that should be clear, right? But now you go back and you're like, okay, so now these are the number of kilowatt hours I should have. I should have 3, right? But then the energy company charges you for 1, 2, 3, 4 kilowatt hours. I know, that's so messed up. This is so messed up. This was the reality for some people. They were like, I normally get a bill for like $120, but then they get hit with like a $600 bill or a $900 bill. Or there were some stories I was reading. It was like their normal bill was like $100, and they got hit with like a $3,000 bill. And I'm like, that is not sustainable. Sorry. Okay, but look, you should have 3 kilowatt hours, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what they billed you for 4 kilowatt hours. Okay, so you try and settle up, and then, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4 kilowatt hours. Ugh. And now, by this time, you've had to get on the phone to settle up with them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different times for various numbers of things. And they're like, okay, here, we'll give you a discount. We'll just charge you for 1 kilowatt hour. That's super weird. And then you're like, hey, I hate this company. We should destroy them. Needs to become a public utility. And they're like, no, you don't need to do that. Okay, so we'll give you one more chance. So now they're going to go ahead and give you 1, 2, 3 kilowatt hours, and they will bill you for 3 kilowatt hours, they say. But as it turns out, they go to bill the 3 kilowatt hours, and they bill you for this many kilowatt hours. And you're like, what? Where did these numbers come from? And this is like a true story for a bunch of people in in this area. And I was like, And I do really feel bad for them. And so I got hit with one of these bills too. But so here's the thing. I did the math, And the fact that I basically just had like 3 years of estimated, and they estimated, I guess, low, so then they got one real reading, and they were like, "Oh, we have to catch up," and they didn't like have any sense to like split it up or like divide it or anything. So, and I'm just like in my situation, it wasn't that bad. So like I paid it, but I'm just like, this is a very stupid way to deal with this. Like, but I'm just like, all right, I just want this behind me. I don't want to deal with stuff. I don't have the time to just like call them and badger them and all that. I'm like, whatever, just here, take it, and hope you get sued. Like, that's basically it. But anyway, thank you kindly for the claps, the Rusty Panda. And I got a wow from Chan the Magic Man. Chan, did you get a wow from the magic, or did you get a wow from the actual story that it was based on? Because it could be misconstrued either way. Story, yeah, I know. It's, oh my god. Being an adult is hard. Ugh. You know, gone are the days of being a naive child. And as much as I know I was a naive child, just to be able to go back and just be a naive child, it would be so nice. I see it in my daughter, and it's like, I know that she doesn't know much because she's only like 2, but one day I cannot wait for my kid to be like, "Hey, how did you and mom come up with my name?" And I can't wait to be like, "Well, let me tell you this story," and then show her the spreadsheet. So that's what. All right, I have to go, says the Rusty Panda. Save battery. I totally get it. Thanks for stopping by. I greatly appreciate it. You totally didn't have to if you were going to drain battery, but I hope I was able to entertain you for a little bit, and hopefully that that trick was satisfying to some extent, I guess, with the power and everything. But yeah, save battery, conserve energy. Hopefully you can find places to charge your things, and you have clean water and all that. So take care of yourself. Thanks for stopping by, and hopefully you can sleep well as well. So we'll talk to you later, Rusty Panda. All right, Chan says, "I'm pretty tired. Have a good rest of your stream." All right, Chan. Have a glorious night. Thanks for stopping by as well. Take care. Sleep well. Let's see here. I guess while we are here, and guys, if you're not following our friends and mods, the Rusty Panda, please give the Rusty Panda a follow. Singer, songwriter, and also does an interview stream on Wednesdays called Wiki Wednesdays. It's a unique interview format, so definitely give the Rusty Panda a follow. Check her out. Also, if you're not following our friend and mod here, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. One of the other few magicians with a regular stream schedule on Twitch. Chan will do Magic Mondays, so give Chan a follow. You can catch him tomorrow night, presumably, if his schedule is not interrupted by the holiday. And then, of course, if you're not following our friend and mod, Gibson Lens, aka Bert, please give Gibson Lens a follow. Pianist, composer, sight reads from a bunch of songbooks. You can request some popular songs, some esoteric songs, a VGM, and of course his originals. So thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, Chan. Thanks for stopping by today. Have a glorious night. Take care of yourselves. Who else did we see in chat? We did see Charlie's Beats as well. Guys, you're not following our friend Charlie's Beats, please give Charlie's Beats a follow. Charlie's Beats, musician, gamer, all around, like, omnipresent in music Twitch chats. So give our friend Charlie's Beats a follow as well. Alright, I think I did see a couple of people, but I think we got all the streamers, right? Yeah, I also fully intended, I wasn't sure who's going to be on, because I know it is like a holiday weekend. I know people might do like traveling and stuff, or like celebrating with families and friends, so I was like, yeah, I'm just going to stream because, it's going to keep my skills sharp. And Yeah, there was a small chance that I was going to cancel tonight. It depended upon how long I was going to stay at the party, and whether I drove separately from my wife and my kid. But we decided to go in one car, and so if that means we go in one car, then we all come back together, and then it's like, well, I'll be home, so I'll stream. Um, but yeah, so that's that. Let's see. So lately in Gibson Lens's streams, he's been telling us about the classic movies that he has been watching. Classic being movies that we would presume are classic because they're old movies that people have watched that we haven't watched or he hasn't watched. Um, so we're playing a game in which he's asking me whether he thinks whether I think he likes them or not. So yeah. Oh, or older than 30 years. Yeah, yeah. If the movies are older than 30 years old, which I guess at this point is like what, older than 95, right? And I'm like, oh man, I was like, I have lucid memories by the time I was 95. So, oh man. The saddest part is that I used to love movies. I watched movies back when I was at Blockbuster. I would get free rentals, and then you know there was Netflix when they used to do the DVDs, and then Redbox, which was a vending machine for movies, and then Netflix got the streaming movies, and I was like, oh wow, this is probably going to put us out of business. And then Blockbuster slowly proceeded to get put out of business. Um, Fun story. I worked at Blockbuster when Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster. And Blockbuster said no. And then Blockbuster proceeded to try and create a competing online service called Blockbuster Online, which that was kind of a nightmare and a half logistics kind of thing, because that ended up being a, hey, if you borrow your movies and you get them from online, you can return them to a store, and then that would count as returning it. So then you could borrow more movies or rent more movies or whatever. But at the store, we had to then be able to take the movies that we rented out, and they brought back these online movies, which sometimes did not have the correct movie in them. So that became kind of a nightmare in and of itself. But then we had to keep that inventory separate from like our store inventory. It was just like, but yeah. So, but now I am an adult, and I would love to watch movies, but I don't have time because I choose to do other things with my time. So I'm choosing to perform magic, practice magic, do a Twitch magic stream, be a dad, have a job, do YouTube videos. Yeah. So the newest quote unquote movie I watched was the Super Mario Brothers movie. And that came out last year, but I watched it earlier this year. Would Mark Rides, welcome in. Hello, how's it going? Also, hello. Would Escape from Witch Mountain be a classic? So it was around when I was working at Blockbuster, but a classic? Bert's seen it! Gibson Lens has seen... wait, no, sorry. I remember that one. No, you remember it. That doesn't mean you've seen it, right? But, yeah. I would say it is, I guess by this definition, when was it released? I would say it's not 30 years old, so it's probably not a classic. I don't think it's so prominent in pop culture that it would count as a classic. But, you know. There was an older one, and oh yeah, it was a remake, wasn't it? Yeah, so the original one would then be the classic. I saw it as a kid. I'm 46. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry. I was thinking about the new version of Escape from Witch Mountain, which, no, you are correct. It is based on the original version. So, Escape from Witch Mountain. Man. Oh, guys, if anybody's here and wants to see some magic, we are just, we're just chatting today, mostly. But if anybody wants to see some magic, feel free to request. Um, yeah, and so I think I'm doing okay as far as like predicting Gibson Lens's movie preferences. So there's this skill that I worked up because I had this position at Blockbuster called the entertainment specialist. So watch movies and then recommend them to people on Friday and Saturday night. So that was basically the position, and I mostly did that. I did some other things in the store when I was not the entertainment specialist role, but um, for the most part, that's just kind of like what that entailed. Nobody else wanted to do that role because either they wouldn't watch the movies that were freely rented to employees, or they just didn't want to go around talking with people. And I ended up, I think, liking doing that. I was really shy at first doing it, but then I was just like, oh, they just want to find a movie and you just get to talk to people. I'm like, oh, perfect. So it worked out well for me. Okay, alright. The Outsiders was kind of a trick. I don't think I would give it a thumbs up if it was not for the cast. Yeah, the thing is, if you watched The Outsiders when it first came out without knowing how famous any of those people were going to be, I think you could have judged it as that, and then I'm like, I don't think you would have liked it. But because if you liked the, then that's kind of the thing. Mark Wright says, "Throw Mama from the Train" with Danny DeVito. Man, I've heard of that movie. I've never seen it, but I've heard good things. So yeah, is that available anywhere? I should probably put that on a list somewhere to watch. Throw Mama from the Train. Wait, the new one, isn't that a musical now? I'm not sure. I gotta just make a note. Okay. Okay, next up we have a trick requested by Charlie's Beats called Michael Elevator, or Mike Elevator. I don't know how to pronounce it. There's not enough syllables in here, but that's exactly how it's spelled. So, okay, we're gonna use the 4 jacks, and then we're gonna use just a bunch of other black spot cards. And so here, I'm just gonna place the 3 black spot cards over here. And then we have the other ones here. And what we're going to do is I'm going to lay out all the jacks over here. And I just want to make sure I do this correctly, because I think I just lay them out this way. I know, when the sequence of things matters, it becomes a strange thing. Okay, so, alright, here we go. And first things first, we are going to have these black spot cards. They're going to represent zombies descending on an apartment building. And inside each apartment building is a jack. And so, can the jack escape from the zombie-infested apartment building? And I think this jack knows to get on top of the roof of the building. And so, yes, it can make it out. Now for this one, the zombies will descend on the top once again and decide, hey, we're going to try and descend and get this human's brains, named Jack. But this Jack is also resourceful and knows how to escape. Because there he is. So now the zombies are like, we've just had 2 failed attempts. They're kind of like the thinking zombies. So perhaps they're going to try and surround this Jack. But this Jack was prepared for this. The eventuality of the zombies descending upon the apartment building. And so that Jack's going to get out. And then finally, our last jack happens to be a pilot with a helicopter. And they are going to go ahead and fly the helicopter over all of the other jacks and pick them up, because they are now all flying to safety over here, leaving all of the zombies in the dust. And that, my friends, is the zombie version of Michael Elevator. I just realized there's been a heat map sitting here, and I don't think I grabbed it. Delicious. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats. Let's see. Mark Ride saying, wait, isn't the new one a musical now? The Outsiders is a musical. I heard it advertised recently. Oh, I don't know about any sort of Outsiders musical. Is this going to constitute... Do I need to look this up now? Hold on, let me see. Is Outsiders a musical? Outsiders, a new musical. You alright, well. It came out in 2023, so yeah, you are correct. Don't eat my brain, zombie, please. Thank you kindly for the mind blown. Obi-Wan, also welcome in, Obi-Wan. How's it going? How you doing tonight? Welcome in. Guys, you're not following our friend Obi-Wan. Please give Obi-Wan a follow. Musician, guitarist, also plays Baldur's Gate 3. Also a fan of like Asian pop music, which I'm also a fan of Asian pop music. So let's see. Oh yeah, you're welcome. No problem. All right. Queue is empty, so feel free to request if anybody would like to make a request. Let's see. We've had a quiet night. I think I'm going to shoot for maybe 20 more minutes. And then we can call stream. As I said, I do have to get up early tomorrow a little bit, so quote unquote have to, being very loose because it's like an optional thing, but if the parade's going on, I want to go in, but there's actually a high probability that it's going to rain out. So but the other thing is that I did get a lot of good practice with magic earlier this week, because I did a couple of my recordings early. I got to do magic for a bunch of people in real life. So, yeah. Aries 4443. Hello, welcome in, Aries. How's it going? How you doing tonight? Actually, there's one trick that I should do because I haven't done it, I think, in a while. So let me put that in there. Okay. Oh, thank you for the heat map. Delicious. Okay. Here we have a bunch of cards. We'll need one selected. Thank you kindly for eating that for me. I mean, I guess I ate it, but thanks for counting it down. Does anybody want to select a card? It doesn't matter that I know what it is. So if you want to select it, feel free to just click directly on the screen. I'll put a heat map there. Or if you just want to call out a card, that's fine too. Looks like we have one on not the 5, but the 2 of spades. Alright, so we'll go ahead and use that one. Okay, so here we have the 2 of spades. I'm going to go ahead and place that into the middle of the deck, but just remember 2 of spades. And what we're going to do is we're going to shuffle a little bit. And then we're going to do something horrific. Things that people should not do because they like organization and they like to be organized and neat. I'm going to go ahead and turn over one of these piles, and we are going to shuffle face up into face down cards. So here we have it. Oh, it pains me every time. Scandalous shuffle, says Mark writes. Yeah, we can have a scandalous shuffle if somebody wants, if somebody redeems. This is pretty scandal, I guess. So look, some of the cards are face up, face down, face up, face down. But we have, let's see, a back to a front to a back to a back. Yeah, so. But with the help of our friend and colleague, the deck sock will fix everything. All right, deck sock, do your worst. I mean your best, but in the meantime, I can grab this heat map here. Heat that. Delicious. Okay, but now everything should be done, and I believe if we go ahead and spread the deck, all the cards should be fixed. Every single card except for one. And that one, any guesses? I think it should be the two of spades, right? Alright, deck sock, do you want to do the honors? Here we go. I'm surprised I've never thought of this before. Ugh! Two of spades. We did it! Good job. Go ahead and take a bow. Does it look like the deck sock's kneeling? Is that... Alright. That is Triumph. Alright. Alright, we have another request. This one is requested by Mark Rides. Thank you kindly for the request, Mark Rides. Let's go ahead and get ready for that one. And let's see here. Okay. Okay. Alright, so we have 4 jacks here. Let me introduce them to you. We have the Jack of Clubs, the Jack of Hearts, the Jack of Spades, and the Jack of Diamonds. Okay. So, let me see here. If you were here, I would ask you to cut off about 3/4 of the deck. So it doesn't have to be precise, but just about 3/4. Let's say here. And then next, I would ask you to cut off about 2/3 of this deck, of this packet over here. So let's say you do that here. And then finally, I would ask you to cut off about half of these cards and put them in a pile down here. Once again, they don't have to be perfect. They could be off by a few cards here and there. But, so now what we're going to do is we're going to mark each one of these with one of the jacks. So here's a jack there. Here's a jack over here. There's a jack over here, and then finally the last jack going on top here. And so here's the thing. all the jacks are part of a clan. The clan is the clan of the birds, and that's why they are going to be birds of a feather, because they will flock together. So even though I just placed a jack on each one of these, would you believe now that they have all collected into one place right here? Whether you believe it or not, you don't have to, but I'm going to show you that they have all gathered here. Here's the the jack of spades, the jack of diamonds, the jack of clubs, and of course the jack of hearts. All together. Now, remember when I had you cut at each different point here? If you were here, you could have made the cuts. But not only are they birds of a feather, there's another flock, the alpha flock of birds. The alpha flock of birds that all have the letter A in the name. And here we have the ace of spades, ace of clubs, ace of hearts, and ace of diamonds that you happen to cut at. And that, my friends, is birds of a feather. Alright, I muted for that cough that time. I didn't have to cough in your ears, guys. Mark Rides, thank you so much for that request. Hopefully you enjoyed. Alright. Okay, let's see here. Oh, we have a request from Aries4443. Alright, hold on. I have to just double check the spreadsheet. Because is this one of my boss tricks? Because I've messed it up so many times. I don't know if I've messed it up recently or not. I know I've messed it up before, but let's see here. Oh, if anybody was wondering, tonight is Magic Stream 94. So, yeah, this is the 94th Magic Stream I've ever put on before. Man, I've been doing pretty good. I don't think this is a current boss trick, but I'm a little wary because I don't really want to mess it up. Again. So, let's see here. Do we have a... Alright. Hey, the jacks also have a letter in their name. They are the alpha flock. Oh, okay. I mean, they have a different letter. It's the letter J. So... Okay, so let's see. We're going to need a couple of cards here. Let's use these guys. Okay. Alright, so here we have a 4 of clubs, and here we have a 7 of diamonds. So if I go ahead and place the 7 of diamonds down here, so we have the 4 of clubs up here. But look, all I have to do is just count to 3. 1, 2, 3, flick. That 4 of clubs changes to a 7 of diamonds. However, you're probably wondering what happened to the 4 of clubs. Well, this card has been sitting here the entire time. But if I was to show you, it's actually the 4 of clubs. And I would say that was a successful step change transposition. Yay! Alright. Seeker of Weird, hello, welcome in. How's it going? Aries, thank you so much for the request. Hopefully you enjoyed. Sorry that was a short one. If you want to request something else, you're welcome to. So. Seeker of Weird, welcome in. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. I was wondering, are you still traveling? Are you back? Guys, if you're not following our friend Seeker of Weird, please give Seeker of Weird a follow. Seeker of Weird, artist. Not only that, artist that made the sub badges. So, you're home. All right, awesome. Welcome back. Hopefully you had great travels and you had good fun. Glad you're back safe. Let's see. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats for a trick that I dubbed Revolver Fully Loaded. Had amazing travels. I had a wedding. Oh, congratulations! Wait, you had a wedding. Not just you attended, but you had a wedding. Congratulations! Alright, let's see here. I'm going to prep for this trick really quick. Okay. I probably should have... Let's see here. Ace, 2, 3... Okay. Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. That is glorious. That is great and wonderful news. So, all right. Well, I guess cheers to that. If anybody has a drink to hydrate with, now's a good time. Cheers. Now begins the tumultuous immigration process. Oh, good luck. I hope everything goes smoothly and in a timely manner. I've heard horror stories of about immigration processes, but Nala Tanuki, Lillian, welcome in. Hi, how's it going? It's going pretty well. How's it going with you? Lillian, I've lurked a couple of times in your streams late at night, and then I went to bed. So I'm like, I don't want to say hi bye. I'm just gonna listen and and then go to sleep. It's been a while. I'm doing well. I'm glad you're doing well. Thanks for the lurk. I appreciate it. Yeah, same. I'm surprisingly still jet lagged from 2 weeks ago. Oh my god, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, that's being jet. But I mean, if you travel all around the world, like your circadian rhythm is like messing up, and then it's like, oh no, your sleep's totally disrupted, and then it's like if you get back to a normal schedule, you don't feel right for a while. So I totally get it. Guys, if you're not following our friend Nala Tanuki, please give Nala Tanuki a follow. Pianist will make little origami stars, and also plays Nala Tanuki also plays some of Gibson Lens's originals as well. So it's cool though because I can finally wake up early. Oh man, waking up early. I'm still unable to do it, but I didn't travel around the world, so maybe that's all it takes. I have to travel around the world to be able to wake up early. That's the thing. Okay, all right. So this is Revolver Fully Loaded. All right, so we have the ace, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of clubs. Now we're going to go ahead and shoot off each one of these bullets, and we'll see it being shot off because we're going to go bang. And so the first bullet, the ace, is going to turn itself face down. So here we go. There's our 5, our 4, our 3, our 2, and our 6. But here's our ace that is now face down. Alright, next we're going to fire off our second bullet. So you'll see that the chamber for the first one has cleared, but our 2, the second bullet, will be face down. Bang. Because look, here's our 5, 4, 3, 6. There's our 2, and there's our ace. Alright, next let's go ahead and fire off the number 3. bang. And so here's our 5, 4, 6, ace, and 2, but there's our face down 3. Now let's go ahead and fire off our 4th bullet, bang. And so here we have our 5, 2, ace, 6, and there's our 3, so there's our 4. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fire off our 5th bullet, bang. So here's our 6, our ace, our 2, our 3, our 4, and then there's our 5th bullet. And now for our final 6th bullet, bang. So now the chamber is empty. So here we have 4, 3, 2, ace. There's our 6, and here's our 5. Now, let me just flip this back over. And so here we now have ace through 6. And now if I was to ask you what color the backs of these cards are, what would you say? I think a lot of people would say red, because they all look like they have red backs, right? So there's our ace, there's our 2, here's our 3, here's our 4, here's our 5, and our 6. However, important question, are you sure that you saw all of them had red backs, or was that just your mind being a little bloodthirsty and you were like, I just saw red blood everywhere? Because they are not. Because if I show you, all the backs are blue. Mark Ride says blue, and then blank. You got it right the first time, Mark. They are indeed all blue. And that, my friends, is Revolver fully loaded. That's a sign of somebody who has been to the stream before. It's like, bam, blue, wait, boom, blank. Alright. Thank you kindly for the claps, Charlie's Beats. Thank you kindly for the request as well. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Alright. Oh, I have not done this trick in a while. Alright. Okay, let's see. Now's a good time to call last call. So, if anybody would like to see any more magic, feel free to request something and place it in the queue. And if you don't know what magic tricks are, you can do a random request. And then, as I do this trick, the Fantastic Four Marvel style card trick, I will we'll close the queue after that. And then, even if there isn't anything, I will still put a finale trick. Even if there are things, I will put a finale trick. So there we go. Okay, and then I have to make sure I have my phone for this one, because I still haven't found a better way to show Ben Grimm's strength. Like, I would love to have another way to do that, but I don't. But if anybody has any ideas, let me know, because I mulled this over when I created this trick, and I'm like, I like it, but I think it could be done in a better way. Man, so I've been popping cough drops for like days, and still not quite improving, but at least my throat is not sore because I'm not like coughing all the time. So I'm gonna pop one right now. Okay, if you're a fan of the Marvel Fantastic Four, you'll enjoy this trick, especially if you haven't seen it. What about a glass of water? I've been having some. I finished my tea. I can have some water, I guess, because I have some water over here. I don't want to gross anybody out, but if you know what post-nasal drip is, I've had that for many years. And the back of your throat gets really sore and raw. Even if you drink water all the time, it's like not enough, especially overnight, because you can't, just drop the water in overnight when you need it. So, well, an empty cup for the Joe Schmo and a full glass for Ben. What? Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I want to have a paper cup. Yeah. That's a good idea. I don't know if I want to have like water around my cards though. Me too says Seeker of Weird. My sinuses are perpetually sore. Oh, my sympathies. I feel ya. Oh, paper cup shows strength. All right, let me mull that over. Let me think about that. That's actually not a bad avenue because I can just have like some props here, and I never do this trick anywhere else currently. So, okay, all right. So I have a packet of cards. Don't think of this pack of cards. This is a spaceship in which 4 scientists are being sent into outer space to explore an anomaly. Now, those of you who are familiar, these 4 scientists, they happen to be people we know. They are Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. Those names may sound familiar, but we'll get to that. So these 4 scientists go through the anomaly, something happens, and they all get their strange powers. And they have to find a way to make sense of all of this. So first things first, the first person we're going to look at is Reed Richards, who ends up becoming Mr. Fantastic. Now, Mr. Fantastic gets a particular power, and that power is a little bit strange because he's going to be able to stretch himself way, way more than a typical human being should, or in this case, a card should. So look, if I just pull on the top and I pull on the bottom, you'll see that Reed Richards is extremely stretchy, way stretchier than your typical person, because this is the power that he has received. And so there's Reed Richards. Now, he can sometimes hold this shape just for a little while, like this, but he can't hold it for too long because it's new power. He's not used to it yet, so he has to snap back into shape. And so that, my friends, is Reed Richards' power, and he will become known as Mr. Fantastic. Next up, we have Sue Storm, who is going to be known as the Invisible Woman. She's going to be represented by the Queen of Hearts. Now, Sue Storm will be able to turn herself invisible, but she's not going to turn invisible just any time. She's going to do it when she feels good and ready. And so, I don't know when she will feel good and ready because you can't predict, but Sue Storm's got a little bit of sass on her, and so she'll turn invisible whenever she wants, like right now. And I can say, hey, Sue, do you want to make yourself visible again? And she's not going to do it just because I say so. She's going to turn back whenever she wants. So here she'll come back whenever she wants. Next we have Ben Grimm. He's going to be represented by the 8 of Diamonds. Now, just to show you the amount of strength that Ben Grimm gets, here's the regular Joe Schmo. And the strength of Joe Schmo, he can't even hold the phone. Because look, when I try and place my pretty hefty phone, he bends. He bends to the will of the phone. But when the thing, Ben Grimm, tries to hold the phone, he can hold it no problem. He can even like bounce it up and down if he wants. That sounds so weird when I said that. But yes, so now Ben Grimm, the thing, has gotten in superhuman strength. And then finally, we have Johnny Storm, who's going to be represented by the 7 of Spades. Now, when he says "flame on," that's how he lights himself ablaze, and he becomes a fiery red version of himself. Take a look. That is fiery red version of 7 of Spades. And then after that, he needs to flame off, and he's really smoky. I don't know if you can tell, but he's a really smoky version of himself now. So yeah. And then finally, all four of them realize that they have their powers, and they get back to Earth, and they're like, we want to do something with our powers. We want to use them for good. So they create a team, and they're now called the Fantastic Four. And that, my friends, is the Fantastic Four origin story trick. Alright, let's see. Mark Wright says, I just realized the phone is a good object because of the hold the phone pun. Yeah, every single time I do it, I always throw in the hold the phone pun because I'm just like, it's too good not to use. It's like, if I'm using my phone already, why not use it? Like, so maybe we stick with the phone. We could just get some horse figurines like tours and say, hold your horses. Oh man, that's brilliant. I gotta find some horses. I like that. I like that idea. No matter what I do with it, I apparently have to keep a pun in there. And if you guys don't know the character Ben Grimm in the thing, he's a very punny guy, and so it goes with his character. Like, yeah, it's so good. All right, that's something to think about. Thanks for the idea, Mark Rides. And for those of you who don't know, Mark Rides was instrumental in getting me to put the Fantastic Four card trick on my trick list. I had made it a long time ago, and I had wanted to do, I guess, more with it, but it wasn't on my list. But I did it once, just as a special thing on stream, and then he remembered and he requested it when it was not on the list, like off menu. And I was like, "There's no reason why I shouldn't put this on the list," so I put it on the list. So there we have it. Thanks, Mark Rides. Thank you kindly for the claps. Nalatunuki, Ryan B, welcome in. How's it going? Hopefully everyone is doing well tonight. We are probably getting ready to wrap up. I did call last call, but if anybody wants to see any more magic, go ahead and put something in the queue, and we will get to it. And I'll close down the list in a little bit. Okay, next up we have a trick requested from Nalatunuki. Okay, this is called Mad Monty. Alright, I have to not mix this up. I always mix this up with another trick. So let's not mix this one up. Let's do it right the first time. And actually, I've messed this trick on stream before. I'm like, I should not mess up this trick on stream. It's not that difficult. Okay, alright. Okay. Here we go. So I have the two blackjacks here, and so right now I'm going to put the jack of spades on top of the jack of clubs. I want you to remember which jack is on the top. So now if I show you, jack of spades is on the top. Now, I'm going to do some things to trick you. So I'm going to turn over the pile 2 times. 1, 2. Which jack would you say is on the top? I think a lot of people would say that the jack of spades is on the top. And to that, I would say you are correct, because jack of spades is on the top and jack of clubs is on the bottom. So now I'm going to go ahead and flip the pile, but 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. So now I've flipped it 3 times. So important question, which one would you say is on the top? Would you say the club is on the top, or would you say the spade is on the top? What would you be more impressed with? Club or spades? You don't have to answer me, but think about it in your mind. Ah, Nalatanuki says clubs. Okay, so that's what you would be more impressed with. Okay. I'm going to take away that possibility now. Because if I show you, Lillian, you don't play any games with the word Monty in the name with anybody. Even if you know them. If there's money on the line, you don't play, because if I show you, there are still 2 cards here, but neither of them are clubs or spades or jacks. They are indeed the 2 red 3s, not the 2 black jacks. That's why there's a game called Blackjack, because they're tricksy. And my friends is Mad Monty, and why you don't play Monty. Knowledge Tanuki says, how? Normally I'll do my disclaimer later, but now's a perfectly good segue. So everything that you see here is sleight of hand card magic. I don't have any deals with the devil. There's no black magic. There's no sorcery. Everything is sleight of hand magic. But if you believe that I have true magic, or if I really did, I would probably say this anyway. So thank you kindly for the claps. Ryan B. Nala Tanuki. Thank you kindly. Amazing! Let's see. Next up, we have a request from Charlie's Beats for the card trick called Maximum Penetration. Yep, I have to preface it with the card trick every time now because it only seems most appropriate. Okay, alright, let me find some cards and we'll go from there. Let's see here. Then one more. Where are the jokers? Okay. Okay, and then this is the one where I'm gonna need the box. And let's see. You know, we just did the Fantastic Four card trick, so perhaps I should do this one and theme it as Fantastic Four Part 2. Maximum penetration. Okay. Alright. Okay. Yes, says Mark Rides. Alright. Sounds good. Oh yeah. Let me SRS off, and then I'll still put in a finale trick after this, but okay, here we go. So I have a few cards here, and I also have the card box, and there's nothing tricky about this card box, because if you were at TwitchCon, you could have received one of these if you came to the interactive workshop as well. But if you take a look, there's no cards in there, there's nothing in there, and it's just easier if I show you that up front as opposed to later. Now we have a handful of cards here, and so top 2 cards I just want to show you. This is turning out to be a fantastic night! You know what, Mark Rides? We're going to do this for that statement all by its lonesome. There you go. Okay. So first things first, this isn't an empty box. This is Dr. Doom's empty lair. So Dr. Doom's not there. But he has sent out his 2 henchmen. The 2 henchmen will be represented by these jokers. So there's 1 henchman, 2 henchmen. And so we'll leave his henchmen over there. And then the rest of the cards we have are going to be the ace, 2, and 3. And first things first, we are going to be using the ace. So this is going to be representing one of the Fantastic Four. Let's say that this is Sue Storm. Oh no, sorry. No, this is Johnny Storm. So Johnny Storm is going to be captured by the 2 henchmen. I know, that's kind of hard to believe he somehow could fly, but they caught him. And so these 2 henchmen are going to capture him, and they're going to try and contain him. The thing is, he has the power to break out and fly. So here's how he'll get out of that. as the henchmen try and grab him and squeeze him, he's just going to go ahead and fly right through them. Because if I show you, they are now empty-handed. Okay. Next, let's go ahead and grab the next person, and that's going to be the 2 of spades. We'll call this Mr. Fantastic. So the 2 henchmen are going to try and capture Mr. Fantastic, like this. And here, you can clearly see that Mr. Fantastic is trapped in between the 2 henchmen. But because he can stretch himself and make himself extremely small, get through tight spaces, he will be able to escape from those 2 henchmen like this. Is that strange? That's super strange, right? And then finally, we have the 3. And the 3 is going to represent Ben Grimm, aka the Thing, the one with incredible strength. And so the 2 henchmen are going to capture him and place him into Dr. Doom's empty lair so that he is waiting when they get back. However, when they lock the door, they really underestimate how strong the Thing is, because all the Thing has to do is say, "It's clobbering time," and he'll smash through the lair and he'll break out. There he is. Now, eventually, Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman, gets wind of this and finds the 2 henchmen and then dispatches with them. And so if you take a look, the Jokers those 2 Jokers have now disappeared, and there's only 1 card here, and that 1 card is the 4 of spades, representing Sue Storm, who has dispatched the 2 henchmen. And now, if we go and take a look, we thought that perhaps the henchmen would have returned back to the lair. So we would expect to see a couple of Jokers in here, right? But if we take a look inside, we'll see 1 card and 1 card only. And as it turns out, that 1 card is just Dr. Doom returning to his lair, because it is the 5 of spades. And that, my friends, is the card trick called Maximum Penetration, done as the Fantastic Four style sequel to the other Fantastic Four trick. Thank you kindly for that request, Charlie's Beats. Thanks for the enthusiasm around the Fantastic Four, Mark Rides. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. You know, telling the story that way is a lot less dirty than just saying maximum penetration like every 3 lines or whatever. So I'd say I like that presentation just because I don't have to worry about saying something. Thank you kindly for the claps. Charlie's Beats, Mark Rides, Gibson Lens, Ryan B. Look at that. Kirby hopping up and down party. Alright. And then, let's see. What will I end with tonight? I'm going to end with probably Dazed. Because, why not? I like it. I also don't feel like I did this too recently, right? So, let me see here. Trigger request, Dazed, and then... Alright, now is a good time to thank everybody for coming to hang out. So, everybody, thank you so much for coming to hang out. Hopefully everybody is having a wonderful long weekend if you're in a part of the world that celebrates what I'm celebrating, Memorial Day. So, but thank you so much for everybody who interacted with the stream, whether you chatted in chat, requested a trick, chose a card, clicked on the heat map. Thank you so much. If it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be as much fun. Thank you so much to all the lurkers out there, because if I'm just fiddling with cards, there's no magic happening. The magic happens in your mind. Next, let's give some mod love to all of our mods. We saw all of our mods today. 2 of our mods, I think, have gone to bed, but Gibson Lens is still here. So, if you guys are not following our friends and mod, the Rusty Panda, please give the Rusty Panda a follow. If you're not following our friend and mod, Chan the Magic Man, please give Chan the Magic Man a follow. Mark Ride says, I'm celebrating Memorial Week. I took off the whole week. Oh, that's awesome. Well, hopefully you enjoy the whole week. So, if you have some cool plans, let us know what's going on. And if you're not following our friend and mod, Gibson Lens, please give Gibson Lens a follow as well. So, let's see. What else? Oh yeah, I'll say the disclaimer again. Everything that you see here is sleight of hand card magic. Well, actually, sleight of hand magic. The ones that are not, dealing with cards is still sleight of hand, but maybe not cards. But yeah, it's not black magic. It's not sorcery. I haven't signed any deals with the devil. It is all sleight of hand, and that's what I would say, even if it wasn't true. Let's see here. Okay, so we'll do our finale trick. We'll find somebody to raid, and then we'll go from there. In the event that anybody wants to see more of me and I am not around on Twitch, you can always check out my VODs here on Twitch until they fall off retention. But if you want to see more magic or just stuff in my past, because this came up earlier today, people were like, how long have you been on YouTube? And I've been on YouTube for 17 years. So it's been a long time. But I do magic stuff now, but before that I did like card game and board game tutorials and strategy segments. And then before that I did 8-bit video game things for a very short amount of time. And then before that I did movie reviews. And then before that I just had some miscellaneous videos, which leads back to the first video, which, by the way, don't go watch my first video. If anybody wants to watch my first video, it's literally just me at my high school Mr. High school competition. So don't watch it. It's embarrassing. Okay, go ahead, watch it. I don't care. Whatever. I don't tell you how to live your life. All right. Let's see here. We do have some usual suspects that are on, so that'll be good. All right, cool. So I have one more trick. It's called Dazed, one of my favorite tricks that I like to perform. And I like to oftentimes close stream with this, or there's like 2 or 3 tricks that I like to close with pretty often. So we'll close out and then we'll raid out. All right. Okay, here we go. Oh, I'm just going to move this so it's not on camera. If anybody was wondering what this was, I have all of my tricks labeled. So it's very easy to pull it out and perform. All right, here we go. So I have a bunch of cards here. We have a 6 of diamonds and a queen of clubs. Now I have a packet of 4 cards, and they're going to look normal when I count through them this way. See, 1, 2, 3, 4. But if I flip them over, I'll show you there's something strange about them, and they all look like they have backs on both sides. All of them except for this one. So this is strange because this is like a card that they print the back on, but before they print the face on it. So, but look, there's a strange property with these double backer cards. If I was to grab them And let me just pull over the six of diamonds, for example. If I just hover it over the six of diamonds, that's actually going to reflect. And it's not just going to reflect here on the bottom, but actually all of these cards turn into the six of diamonds. Is that strange or what? Now, if I go ahead and I take this and I hover it over the queen of clubs, like this. Now, some people will say, oh look, it gets reflected, but we know what happens. I just explained to you how everything happens, right? Not only does it get reflected, but all of the cards become the queen of clubs. Weird, right? And now, if I take this blank card, which is strange because if you take a look, there's still all the queens of clubs right there, right? But all I have to do is if I place this on a queen of clubs and I just, turn it over, as soon as it touches on the back, all of these become blank. Because look, 1, 2, 3, 4. And some people wonder at this point, hey, can I look at the backs of those? And I'm like, sure. Here you go. That, my friends, is, I'll call that a successful performance of Dazed. Mark Wright says, Arch. Oh, Mark Wright says, disclaimer, Nam has signed a deal with the architect. Angels, not the devil. Okay. I see. Thank you kindly for the claps. Gibson Lens. Nala Tanuki says, that's crazy. I know, right? That is crazy. Lillian, you haven't seen that one before, right? Is that one a new one to you? Thank you kindly for the claps. Oh yeah, also let me just show this off. I normally show it off at the beginning of stream, but I show it off occasionally. New to me. Alright, awesome, cool. I'm glad that you were able to see something new tonight. So there we go. Yay. Ooh, that's cool. Yeah, so I got this because my best friend gave it to me for my birthday this year. So I don't have a fixture place to put it so it appears all the time. Ideally, I guess like right here, but I can't really affix it to my wall, but I'm like, all right, well, it's here. I'll show it off sometimes. So there we go. Okay, cool. And with that, I think we'll call that a successful stream. Thank you kindly for the claps, Ryan B. All right, one day I will also stream more stuff, but right now my life is super. I don't want to say super like weird or complicated, but it's just I don't know. I filled up my schedule with a lot of stuff. So, but one day I want to stream more stuff. So we'll see if I get back. Maybe I'll just have to make another RPG like a project of mine because I did like doing that. I just have to feel very strongly about the RPG though. I really want to play it. All right. Thanks for the stream. You're welcome, Lillian. And also, I remember getting stickers from you. I have not pulled them out for a magic trick yet, but actually, if you're in my stream earlier next time, remind me. I'll pull those out. Maybe we can do some magic with those stickers on the fly. So, I remember getting them. They are down in here somewhere. I just I just haven't pulled them out in a little bit. So, all right. So the next question is, where are we gonna go raid tonight? So I normally like to raid some musician friends on Twitch. So let's see, who have we raided recently? Oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah. So just remind me, and then we'll try and fit it in. Okay, let's see. When was the last time we raided this person? In March. So it's now almost June. So it's been almost 3 months. All right. So the question is, does Gibson Lens know who I'm thinking about raiding? Let's see. I should probably just look through the list and see who else is going before I commit, but I think I'm probably mentally committed. Alright, yeah. We're gonna go over here. Let me mute. Let's make sure how long they're going on. Okay, alright, not that long. Without looking, no. Maybe. Alright, well. Gibson Lens once strikes again. That is who I'm thinking about rating. Yeah, that's who we're rating. So, alright, guys. If you'd like to follow on this raid, please. Yeah, go with your instinct. His instinct is correct. Alright. Feel free to copy a raid call if you would like to come along with the raid. We're going to be raiding our friend Andrew, aka the Friendly Fiddler. And then let me see, make sure I start the raid. Okay, here we go. Oh crap, I need to copy my own raid call. Alright, everybody, we are starting the raid right now. And then, great seeing everybody tonight. If you are celebrating this weekend, take care, have fun, make sure to hydrate, make sure you're staying safe, and also hopefully you guys get a chance to hydrate and stretch and sleep well. So, other than that, hopefully we'll see you guys around again next time, and everybody take care of yourselves, and we will talk to you later. So, you have a glorious night. Alright. So I'm going to hit the raid button a little early, but I know that sometimes stream's a little slow, so I'm going to wait for a second, and then I'll hit the button. So, alright. If you are drinking, call an Uber or Lyft, according to Mark Rides. Thanks for the friendly advice, sir. Alright, everybody. Take care. We'll see you around. Bye!